Shalom, shalom. Wait, give me a minute.
While
Okay,
America
there we go. Shalom, shalom. This is truth, is everlasting. Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Joshua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I take up a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children around the world in Paleo Hebrew language. Ka halayim la Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Ha Rokah Kodash Mahama, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to the apostles of Lion Den's camp. Salutations to the Akims who are on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children, Shalom. Well, Salakia. As you already heard, the president from Venezuela has been taken, right? And what that tells us scripturally as well, okay? Well, this attractive woman, she's gonna say a couple of things, okay? Now, of course, this is gonna bring on World War III. The whole world knows that, okay? Every government around the world, even here, the government in America knows that what they did is only gonna promote World War III, okay? So, let me play it. Where's Stace here? No, I let her say what I gotta say. Trump bombed Venezuela at 3 a.m. Oh, this is how war starts. Okay, got you. Here we go.
slept, Donald Trump dragged this country into regime change without Congress, without consent, and without a plan. While most Americans.
Oh, Slovakia. The title of this lesson is Who Exalteth Himself Above All. Slovakia about that.
Were asleep, while families were resting, while kids were dreaming, while this country was not paying attention, the United States launched what can only be described as a regime change operation against Venezuela. Let's be very clear about what happened. In the dead of night, the Trump administration authorized large-scale military strikes inside Venezuela. Those strikes ended with the capture of Nicolas Maduro and his wife, who were then flown to the United States to face charges, not arrested through diplomacy, not removed through international consensus, captured by American force on foreign soil. And here's the part that should make every single American sit up straight. Congress was not notified. No debate, no authorization, no vote. Now, I'm not here to defend Nicolas Maduro. He is an objectively terrible leader. His rule brought corruption, economic collapse, poverty, and suffering to the Venezuelan people. And yes, many Venezuelans celebrated his removal. Two things can be true at the same time. But let me say this plainly. The United States does not get to decide who governs another country at the barrel of a gun. That is not democracy. That is not peace. That is not law and order. This administration wants you to believe this was about drugs. They want you to believe this was about narco-terrorism. But let's stop playing games. Venezuela is not a major source of fentanyl entering the United States. The data does not support that claim. Less than 1%, if that. And if Donald Trump truly cared about stopping drug trafficking, he wouldn't have pardoned leaders who openly bragged about flooding the U.S. with cocaine. Actions matter more than talking points. What we are witnessing is something far more dangerous. This is the normalization of unilateral war. This is the erosion of constitutional limits. This is the idea that a president can launch military action, overthrow foreign leadership, and call it successful 4 hours after it happens. History tells us this story never ends the way it's promised. The hard part isn't removing a weakened dictator. The hard part is what comes next. And make no mistake, everything that happens in Venezuela from this moment forward belongs to the Trump administration. The instability, the power vacuum, the violence, the fallout. And let's talk about the Constitution, because apparently this White House doesn't want to. The president does not have the authority to start a war alone. That power belongs to Congress, period. Midnight bombs do not replace democratic accountability. What's even more telling, some of Trump's own supporters are now asking the same question the rest of us are asking. Why Venezuela? What provoked this? And the answer is simple: nothing did. This was a choice, a dangerous one. Trump ran on no new wars. And now his voters are watching him do exactly what he promised he wouldn't. That's not strength, that's betrayal. You don't preserve peace by breaking international law. You don't defend democracy by ignoring your own constitution. And you don't make America safer by setting the precedent that regime change by force is acceptable. This is.
Here we go. It's going to get worse, right? We're already in 2026, and that can activate for sure the drafting, right? Now there was a video that popped up that said that the only way that could have happened, that his military high ranks were bought out, were sellouts. Time is gonna tell, because where are these people going to run to? They will have to probably leave Venezuela, you know, because they betray their own country, their own people, right? And not only that, what makes them think that if that's the case, if that's true, right? Let's say allegedly, Slakia, that they do come to America, they're not gonna be treated or protected as they think. Cause you trade your own people, you do the same thing here in America for money with another country. You see how that goes? So that's pretty wicked if that's true. I want to go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who oppresses and exalts himself above all that is called God, all that is worshipped, so that he as God sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. You know, besides that, the Edomites have military almost all over the world. But, you know, Russia also wants to be in power, and China. Even though they say that, you know, every country can live with their own beliefs, right? And live freely, right? As they want, and, you know, do business. Well, the only reason they say that because it gives everybody a chance who can build the strongest and fastest weapons, okay? Just like America did with the whole world, said one thing, and then once they had more weapons, they went around and said something else, right? Isaiah chapter 14, give me a minute here. Okay, let's go to verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved, for there to meet, no, Slakia. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming, it, stirring up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth, it has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Yeah. Everybody's looking at this and saying, wait a minute. You know, this is breaking international laws. They're breaking their own laws. So now that this move that America did, okay, because it goes against Congress as well, right? That and to all what you call Republic and Democrats, okay? So the whole world is saying, wait a minute, we're gonna have to, you know, not only upgrade what they have to do, but now the whole world is gonna be breaking laws left and right. Rest assured, because you don't know what country is next that they go to sleep and then they are being attacked at night. And if it's true that they, about the military people in high ranks turning against their own country for the love of money, right? That's crazy. Now I'm going to jump to verse 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, in thy mind, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. Yeah. Well, you think they got satellite dishes and what they call it? Didn't Trump say something about having a military in the base or a navy in space? Something like that, right? So it's becoming more and more clear how close we are. Okay. Now remember, they first have to bring in the charagma that they want to implant, and that's closer than ever, because once the drafting starts, rest assured that the cashless society is going to kick in, and then they're going to mandate. Okay, because a lot of people are going to refuse drafting, so that's going to bring the mandate of the charagma, the sea hip. Verse 14, and I will ascend above the highest of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Verse 15, yea, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit. Verse 16, they that see thee shall normally look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Yeah, you know, right now, we don't know what's gonna happen now with Venezuela, right? I mean, who's gonna be running it now? Who's gonna who's gonna protect it? 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Yeah. They're making so many, what did he call it? Executive law, that if you say this, if you do this in the TikTok, they'll come after you. So he's going after everybody, all because the Epstein file, number one, and number two, that they don't like it when we are saying, not only we, but even whistleblowers of his own people are saying, listen, we're not from this country either, So they want to, remove so many people that are from here, right? And they want so bad to put fear, but what's going to happen is the opposite, right? He's moving in paranoia mode. Verse 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. Verse 19, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that goes down to the stone of the pit, as a carcass taunted under feet. Yeah, they want to keep going around the world and then breaking international laws, like, so what? I'm above all that. This is what I want. I'm going to take it no matter what it takes. Good news is that it didn't start a war with missiles from ships and planes, shooting at Venezuela, Venezuela shooting at the ships in the ocean, right? Because there's small islands around there that can get hit. But, from what it says here, at 3 a.m. is being bombed, right? A distraction. Verse 20, thou shalt not be joy with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slay thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. No. Everybody now has a bad taste, for what the people in power in America has done over there to Venezuela. Right? It wasn't done in the way that the laws that they brag and boast so much about, right? They want everyone to comply with the laws, but they themselves keep telling the whole world that they are above the law, right? Verse 21, prepare for slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Yep. I mean, no surprise to us, because throughout history, this is the way they deal, how they do business, right? I mean, our people from the past, even when you watch these old movies and TV, cowboys and Indians, the Indians always said to be careful, right, with the so-called white man, because they break treaties, right? Even scripture talks about that. Second Thessalonians chapter, what happened here? Give me a minute. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Yeah. We've been told, people from the past who are doing the work in the name of Yahweh and Yahushai, say, hey, these things are going to come, these things are going to happen. You're going to have many false prophets and a lot of, antichrists, right? Verse 6, and now ye know what holdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. Yep. Every day, more and more, it becomes more and more clear to the whole world, right? There's a spiritual battle, okay, of fake imposters that want to pretend to be gods but are not. Verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Yeah. Yahweh Shai is letting wicked do all that they want to do. Right? Time will come when he will put a stop to it. Yahweh Shai. I want to go now to 1 John. Give me a minute. Chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, it is the last time, as ye have heard, that Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many antichrists, yeah, around the world, whereby we know that it is the last time. Everybody that has technology that are in power around the world, what a coincidence that they're all promoting the same thing. So they're fighting for power. You see? They're still fighting for the same thing, a digital system, right? A digital ID, okay? Pretending that it's only here in America. No, it's worldwide that wants to do it. right? They're all working together, but at the same time, they're all fighting one another for the power, right? To be global, to be owning that kind of technology and own everything around the world. Um, let's go to First John chapter 4, verse 3. Yeah, I got this right? Yeah, give me a minute. Uh-huh. And every spirit that confesses not that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. Yeah. When you hear the President Trump talking, you don't hear him mention Yahweh Shai. He said he ain't gonna let how he said it? Allegedly, I'm not gonna let bad people keep abusing Venezuela. Also, that Venezuela owes them land and oil, and that he's gonna go over there and take it. It's crazy, right? Okay. Well, these people in power, they're going high under the bunkers. So that's how come they can talk the way they talk. You know, it's I use the word sad, but it's really Yahweh Shai who controls everything. But when you really look at it, it's sad that our people who joined the army go and fight, and be a participant of this kind of wickedness. I want to go back to 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Yep, it's getting closer day by day, you know. Let's see from here to what? 2027. Things are moving faster every day. Job chapter 4, verse 9. And by the blast of Yahweh they perish. By the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. Yeah. When we say that World War III is coming, it's not only World War III. It is that also Yahweh Shai with the host of angels is also coming. Okay? So, which is great news. You see? So things are moving according to the way Yahweh Shai says in the scriptures in the Bible. Hosea chapter 6, verse 5. Therefore have I shown them by the prophets, I have slain them by the word of thy mouth. Wait. Therefore I have shown them by the prophets, I have slain them by the word of my mouth, Salakia, and they and thy judgment are as the light that goes forth. Yeah, the truth went forth. The judgments have been spoken since 1960. That was our Bibbins who started, okay, prophesizing in the highways of byways in New York City. I'll leave it with Isaiah chapter 10, start with verse 15. And the light, the truth of Israel, shall be for a fire, and his Holy One set apart for a flame. And it shall burn and devour his throne and his burial in one day. Slakia. Go now to leave it with verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Yeah, they're making now laws to other countries, passing international laws. No approval at all. This is the way it's going to be. And whatever country they pick, if you don't listen and you don't do what I say, I come and take your land away. Remember, when they say take the land away, they're also taking ownership of everyone that's over there. Okay? So here's the truth of what we could not see at one time because there was no internet. Now you know why they want to, have more control of the internet, because the cat is out of the bag, right? Well, I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say, Shalom.